So guys, just to give you an update for the rest of the day, what we're going to do now is welcome Piero up here for probably about an hour, and then we're going to do a roundtable Q&A where you can ask me and Oscar and Piero anything, 15 minutes along those lines, and then by then we're going to have dinner to eat, and then we can, after dinner, if it's not raining, we can have drinks, cigars. I've got a whole box of cigars, so if anyone wants a cigar, we can have a smoke outside, and then we will enjoy the evening, okay? So for now, Piero, kick it off. Round of applause for Piero.
Thank you very much for coming, everyone. Oscar, can I rub this off partially?
Well,
take a photo.
Yeah.
Would anyone like a piece of cake?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll have a piece of cake. Yeah.
Well, there you go. We'll start with cake, and then I'll rub this off.
I'll take this one.
I need to fully rub it.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Huh? Well, I'm going to do this again, so it's fine. Keep the names. Well, okay. Yeah.
Thank you. No, thank you.
All right. So, thank you very much for coming. The way I like to describe what I do is I help entrepreneurs build their social kingdoms. So you might be like, what the fuck does that mean? I'll start with my own story. So, I'm Pierre Ladler, and honestly about, let's say 14 months ago or so, this is so cliche but it's true, I was genuinely broke, lost my last job, I was living in London, dating a girl that honestly I really wasn't happy with. I had some interesting friends, but I really didn't have anywhere near the network that I have now. I then went from that, took a big ballsy bet on myself, became a partner for this tech company, went to the UAE, so Dubai, in August last year to expand them fully by myself. Just didn't know anyone, just I'll go to the Middle East, I'll expand your business, I want equity, no risk for you, and I'll just make it work. And here I am about, 10 months later or so. I've got, look, be here. So I actually never thought I'd be a coach, but again, here we are. And I've met with genuinely billionaires, people that manage billionaires' money in the info product space, like the best of the best. Some of you guys around here. I've done like trip to Monaco for the Formula One, invited, stayed with like the best, like coolest life experience. I've literally like life maxed fully. And this really took off, honestly, in the like last 6 months or so. Even like meeting Andy Elliott and like actually like having a proper conversation with him. So I've kind of speed run it, I'd say. And what I want to do today is I want to teach you as much as I can. So we're going to do something similar. We're going to go around one by one. This is less like specific business, although if you meet the right people, let me ask you, would you agree that you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with? Yeah? Any disagreements? No. So, what I want to help you guys do is actually give you like legit step-by-step things that we can do, mindset fixes, vibe fixes, so that you can have whatever social circle, whatever average friends that you want that helps you achieve the goals of your dreams. Sound good? Yep. Cool. Awesome. So, I'm going to start similar to those guys. We'll go around one by one. And if you have like, maybe it's like something, potentially mindset, how do I meet the right people? I've like done this 3 times. Like I came to Bali for the first time ever a month ago. Like instantly plugged into the best network here. This isn't a flex, more just to show my credibility. So, we'll go around. Any question, we can tackle it. So Jody, is there like a specific area of your social life or meeting people you want to focus on?
Yeah, just meet more people like this, really. I'm a father of one, I have a wife, so I'm a family man, so it's hard to balance finding individuals like a lot like you guys, because actually, I don't know, except for a few here, most of these sorts of guys are single, they don't have a family, everyone's traveling around the world. All the most interesting friends that I have are literally traveling around the world, so it kind of sucks for me to to live here and constantly got to find new people, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's true. I'm the average of the 5 people I'm thinking of.
Cool. Can I ask, where are you based typically?
I'm in Canggu. I'm born and raised here. My dad's
cool.
a Kiwi, my mom's Indonesian, my wife's Russian.
Reagan, where are you? Yes.
Biggest thing is like being comfortable around people that are more successful than me.
I can't spell. Tom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've lived in Bali for like 6 years now.
Okay.
It's been a really good base for a long time. At one time I was actually like living like with 4 other guys, like all kind of in the same space. I was more in ecom back then. I really liked that kind of setup, and I actually kind of want to do that again. Because right now I just live with my girl. But like if anyone knows like an entrepreneur house or wants to join one or make one, send me a DM, talk to me.
I asked my girlfriend, she said no.
No, I said my no, my girl.
They combined.
No, but my girl is okay. My girl is okay with it, and like I don't mind if it's other single guys or like a couple too. But just like a good balance of people, like good people, good workers, focused people. That's actually like kind of the vibe I want to go for again for a bit, even like for a few months. Yeah.
That'll be easy. Orlando.
I'd say improve my dating life, like meet more women, build more relationships with women.
Matt.
Listen,
I know you. I
I'm
shouldn't
pretty
ask
cool
you
in the
because you're.
social space, but I'm always interested to listen and stuff. So I'll not hog too much of the conversation this time, but I'm always up for learning.
No problem. So I'm terrible with names today. James.
Probably similar to Jody. I'm married, I've got 3 kids, I got some very close friends, and then there's everybody else. So I keep a pretty small world, and I don't tend to go much outside that, and I'll prioritize that. So I like to, but I also like to keep things close.
Cool. Florian.
I would like a cool global little community.
Chris.
I don't even know. I think for me, maybe like making an effort to actually spend time with more people, because I definitely like improve my social skills, but I've also, when you see online, you're the sum of the 5 people. For me, I hung out with no one. It was like my friends didn't hold me back because I didn't choose to surround myself with anyone that wasn't kind of in that space. So I think for me, just like meeting more people in the same space and then realizing that you're going to make a lot more progress in a group as opposed to just on your own.
No.
You want to say something?
Sorry, can I just add one thing I think would be beneficial for everybody is I find it difficult to meet with like successful people, entrepreneurs, because they're busy as hell. I think that will be relevant for everyone.
Where are we?
This is like the one area I usually do pretty well in. I actually have to like cut back my social stuff and try to be more focused. So yeah, I think I'll echo what I've heard a few people say. It's nice to meet more like-minded people who are in the entrepreneurial space, who are doing things online. Especially for me right now, like just going into YouTube and like trying to make that a part of a business. Meeting more people who are doing that at a high level is super valuable.
Cool. Jordan? I don't know. I feel like with this area of my life, it's pretty good. Like I'm pretty balanced, with these different things. One thing that does come to mind is the days or the weeks. If I go into a season of like working a lot, then I find that after I finish that, I'm not really that keen to socialize. But if I went through like a season of like socializing, then I'm kind of falling on the work side of it. So I guess one for me is balancing those two. Okay. More than anything else.
And Samir.
I'd say like it would bring deeper relationships with other entrepreneurs, so that was one.
Cool. For you, would it be like maybe you meet someone like, for instance, today, but then following up is maybe difficult, or
Yeah, exactly.
like keeping that, like actually making a solid relationship?
Yeah, not just following back on Instagram, but that's it.
All right. Thank you. Anything else? If you guys have any ideas throughout, just tell me. Really happy to cover it. So, okay. I'll actually start this kind of similarly to how the other guys started this, which is a lot of you guys, you want to meet high-level people. You want to actually connect with them and spend more time with them because, you know, they can give you ideas. Kind of like when we go for dinner, us and like that founders dinner, it's kind of like a mini mastermind. So it sounds like a lot of you guys want this consistently because you see the value in it. So the first thing that I'll do is actually remind you guys, I'm not sure if anyone does it, is to actually have an ICP of who you want in your social life. And how I'm going to target this is almost, or how I'm going to approach this is almost targeting your social life like you would your business. So, what do I mean by ICP of your social life? If you want to connect with other entrepreneurs, who specifically? Because you've got different types of entrepreneurs. So, for example, you might want to connect with, I don't know, other coaches, or maybe like people like Oscar in YouTube, or maybe private equity, maybe you want to go in a different angle. You might want to connect with other people in crypto, other people in finance, for example, you know, people that have done big exits. You guys at the back, something similar. Maybe you're at like a different paradigm, kind of a few steps ahead. How do I connect with these guys that are maybe, I don't know, super big into real estate, or like, again, maybe it's the private equity VC angle. Potentially that's something that you want to tackle. Orlando, for you, maybe dating, like how do you actually get around more girls, and then also like guys that are around girls too, so you can have like that area of your life sorted per se. So the reason I want to start here is because it's super important to actually crystallize, just like you do in your business, who actually do you want to hang out with? And I'm seeing like a lot of you guys are like nodding, because it sounds like, well, it looks like maybe you haven't actually considered this before. And just like in your business, as soon as you know exactly the kind of avatar that you're after, you can actually start connecting with them. So even for yourself, you want to grow this podcast, what types of podcast guests do I want? How do I actually attract them is the next step that we'll go into. But we've covered ICP a lot. Does it like super high level, does that make sense? Yeah. So to go a level deeper, in terms of like, okay, I've kind of got like an understanding high level of my ICP, that are people I want in my social life. Just like you do in your business, really write it out. So I want 6-7 figure entrepreneurs, just like I've said. And then the next step is to actually figure out, where do these people hang out? And you already might have some people in this network, or like in your own network. So what I want you to do is to think, where have I met those people before? You probably so you guys that have like these deep relationships, these guys that you really vibe with, where did you meet them? Are you spending enough time in those environments? Because honestly, it might be that you meet those people at masterminds. And so, fuck going to dinners and fuck going to other stuff. Just double down on masterminds, meet people at those types of events. If you want to meet people in crypto, same thing. But instead of maybe this mastermind, maybe you need to go to like crypto things, or like VC fundraising and all of this shit, right?
Yeah. No, I attend like multiple masterminds every year. You know, it's really good.
Yeah, and then can I just drill on that? So you attend these multiple masterminds. Do you feel like you have a solid understanding in like relationship building?
Conferences as well. Like, you know, for example, CoinFest Bali is coming like end of August. Anyone who's in a crypto here in Bali should probably come to that conference. And then there's side events, you network with people. And then I'm going to host my own side events, so I can bring whoever I want coming in. Like I hosted one in Dubai in April.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's like a really good way to do it, I think. I like that.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something I want to touch on as well. So once you've figured out your ICP, of who you want in your life and where they hang out, first you've got to start going there and actually start connecting with those people. Now what I'm now going to touch on is, how do you actually connect with these people so it's not just a superficial thing? Because I'm sure all of us has found it, you probably find this as well sometimes, Rebecca, where like you meet people and you feel like they don't actually want to know you for you. They just want to know you for like the surface level. Or maybe it's like, especially as a high level business owner, like even I find this annoying sometimes, whereby I might be out somewhere and the first question, I haven't even asked my name, is what do you do? And the reason they ask that is because they want to quickly filter if they want me in their life or not. Now the thing is, on the front end, that looks really good. Because what, like, as an entrepreneur, you're like, okay, let me just disqualify everyone that doesn't fit into my ice or into my like life, right? That's what you're doing. You're basically having like a funnel, and you're just like batting away. Yeah, you're batting away all the people at the front end, right? Because you're like, what do you do? Okay, you're not in crypto, fuck off, right?
Yeah.
Sounds good on paper, but in reality, you actually end up ruining the relationships that could be really good. So, I'm not telling you to waste time and like speak to millions of people. Yes.
Also, I was going to say, know who you're meeting as well. Because you know, with Orlin, I knew he'd got into DJing. So when I met him, I told him I used to be an international DJ. And he was like, what? No way, I'm getting into that now. So I knew who I was meeting, and I knew what to tell him, you know?
Exactly.
Just strengthen the connection.
Well, let me ask you guys, like, how many of you did research before today on everyone else? You did some?
Good man, good man.
You did some? But we probably, like me included, we probably all could have done a bit of a better job, right? Because maybe that there's some like other connection or like something whereby you know, okay, I can talk to this guy about, I don't know, golf or rowing or whatever the fuck it is, right? But the reason I'm bringing this up is because when you instantly meet someone and the first thing that you lead with is what do, you disqualify the high quality relationships. And I'm saying this as someone who like, I've been out like 6-7 days a week for the last like 7-8 months or so. You can ask Oscar, you'll attest to this. Not like just parties, but like actual events and
nice.
in Dubai constantly.
Yeah.
And what happens is when you want to meet someone high level, I realized, if you want to connect with someone, you make a pattern interrupt by not asking them what they do, right? And this is why Will's had a good point, which is like, actually do your research. So for example, let's say Arlen Moore, right? If I wanted to like connect with him at a party, this did work actually, but like we were invited to his party, and I was like, okay, I want to like meet this guy and actually see if we vibe. I go to this party, I know like some research on him. Do you think I'm a fanboy to him?
No.
No. Because it pushes them away. Like you're an attractive girl. When guys come up to you and they're just like, ooh, it's kind of cringe. It's very cringe. And you don't want to do that. So what I'd recommend is, let's say you go to a party or any social setting, it's the same shit, right? You go in, and you almost like it's quite similar to dating, you almost don't even give them too much attention. Like even the Andy Elliott, right? You were there when we met.
Yeah.
I literally didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally just like, okay, cool. And that guy is like steroids, roided to the max, full red, right? He genuinely is like quite a scary presence in a way, but I just didn't care. And I think because of that, I probably had the longest conversation of anyone that night except for the people at his table. And it's because I had that like blasé, you don't give a fuck attitude. And it's just like what you said when it comes to closing more sales. The guys that make more money and the guys that close more business and like the guys that are better with girls when it comes to dating are the guys that aren't needy. It's the exact same in your own relationships. It's the exact same when you want to connect and network with higher and higher and higher level people.
Can I chuck a comment on that? So, I mean, because I talk about this a lot with negotiating.
Please.
And, I mean, we talk about not giving a fuck, and people could go, well, how do I not give a fuck? Because I do give a fuck. And, okay, you might be a good blagger, but which I always think, you know, I'm not, that I kind of can't really fake something. I think ultimately the not giving a fuck comes about from doing enough work at the front end in terms of having a big pipeline, whatever pipeline looks like. So you've either got fucking killer marketing, so you genuinely don't give a fuck if you close a sale or not because you need to qualify or disqualify quick because you know there's another call coming, or you genuinely don't give a fuck about whether or not that girl goes out with you because you've got a stream of tens or whatever it may be. And I think, you know, I heard it mentioned a couple of times. I think it's kind of important to mention because, you know, like what does it mean to not give a fuck? And I think there's either been like fucking Kevin and Perry not give a fuck, or I guess, you know, like psychologically doing it properly, if that makes sense. You know, and I could never, you know, I've done some mad negotiating deals where I've got, you know, ridiculous outcomes, but not because I'm super clever and I can brain fuck them into giving me what I want, because I go and find 10 people who've got something I want, and I insult all of them with an offer and I know that one of them will be desperate enough to talk to me. But you know, I can't make someone do something they don't want to do. If that makes sense.
I completely agree with you, but I'm actually going to give a contrasting view. And where my contrast comes from is that I've speedrun this, whereby like 6 months ago, like no one knew who the fuck I was, right? And again, Oscar will attest to this.
I will test.
There you go. She probably thought I was a weirdo. The way that I get around that, it sounds so simple, but it's actually just what you need to do, is you need to go into meeting any of these high-level people with the mindset of, does this person fit into my life? And do I actually want to hang out with this person? Because like, we often like want these material success, right? Or we often want material success or being with a really hot girl or whatever the fuck it is. But like, you need to realize that there's more to life than just that one avenue and just that one connection. And so when I approach these relationships and approach meeting people in that vein, instead of me being like, okay, I want to close this person, it's kind of like forced a detachment from the outcome. Because now I'm thinking, does this person genuinely fit into my life? Do I actually want to be their friend? Right? And so I'll give you another example. So there was a guy, I won't mention his name, but Oscar and I met him not long ago, crypto FX trader. This guy, like, I literally, like, when I was a teenager, like, I gave him money to, like, teach me, like, this. Like, I would binge watch all of his shit, right? And so, maybe, like, I don't know, 8, 9 years ago, I would have been this guy's fanboy. And, like, recently, I meet him with Oscar. And I go into it with the mindset of, instead of, like, being a fanboy or whatever, which I kind of should have been, my mindset was, like, will this guy fit into my life? And funnily enough, I'm not saying his name, so it's fine. He was a prick. He was like an absolute wanker, and I don't want to hang out with him at all. Pardon? Yeah, he lives there.
I know exactly.
Fine, okay, I busted myself. But anyway, like, I really didn't like him, and I was like, fuck it, you know, I've got cool shit going on. I'm not going to bring you into my life, right? And so that's an example of someone that's high level, but still I had that like screening mentality of, do I want to bring that person into my life? And it's also the same with girls. So Orlando, for example, like I go to all these parties. Like the other day I went to, it was like Inner Rare, it was 2 nights ago. Inner Rare's like 1 year anniversary. There was like red carpet, basically just models of Bali and like some entrepreneur guys. I was there and like, I was meeting some girls, but like, I'm pretty high IQ. I need a girl that has IQ as well. So like, as pretty as they are, on the front, like the offer looks good. But then actually speaking,
offer looks good.
I was speaking to business owners, but like the top of funnel, like I'm hooked. I've got the visual hook, you know. But then I like go and speak to them, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, you're boring.
You didn't like the VSL.
I didn't like the VSL, so I wasn't.
Disqualified. Disqualified.
Exactly. But if you
Get them out
about
the funnel. Get them out the funnel.
I'm the one disqualified. Right? And then because I'm going into all of these relationships and meeting all of these people with this disqualification approach, it separates me from the rest. And I'm literally living proof, yes.
So do you mean, like, for example, with the crypto guy, like you thought of like if he was someone that would fit into your ICP, and then you realized he wasn't going to be, you know?
No, so it wasn't about ICP. So yeah, I guess yeah, because like ICP for me is also like, actually what, like, do I want to hang out with this person, right? Like, what kind of vibe, what are their values, what's their energy? That's also things that aren't actually said often, but it's super important, you know?
So because he wasn't someone that you'd be around with, essentially you just talked to like Victor or something?
Okay, here's a really good question. Will the other day at dinner, he said to me, if you had $1 billion, what would you do? In your personal life, with the people you hang out with, if you were dating all the models in the world, or like around all the like, if you had access to everyone in the world, what type of people would you actually want to hang out with? Like, who would you go to war with? Because those are my friends. And so when I go into like meeting anyone, like even you, right? When we met, like, it just changes things. It's a different dynamic. You know, you're no longer the buyer. You're actually almost the seller. So another way that I like to think about it, and this, I've used this analogy for women, is, do any of you guys own a Rolex? 1 Rolex, 2 Rolex, come on.
Come on, you know I own a come on.
Oh, you have a Rolex? I didn't know. Oh, I'm joking.
Couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell.
It's fucking gold as hell. Anyway.
It's like just blends into your
It just blends in, doesn't it? Yeah.
So I have a friend called Shako, and he said this thing to me, which just made something click in my mind. He said, you know what? I was lucky enough to buy this Rolex. And I was like, that's kind of retarded, because Rolexes genuinely are worse than Casios. They don't keep time as well. They're heavy. If they get scratched up, you know, you could say it's a store of value, but like some of these other like fancy watches, are they really? It's kind of like a bit of a weird cycle. Then you have to go on a waiting list for 3 years or something like that. It's like fully artificial scarcity as well. And you all know this because they just make more watches all the time. And then at the end, my friend Shaka, he's like, oh, I was lucky enough to buy this Rolex. Like, if you think about it, it's actually like incredible marketing, but it's also like kind of dumb. Because the like product's not even the best. You know, people are like, you need the best product and they'll come. Like, I'd argue that like a quartz watch from China is probably better at keeping the time if I want like a timekeeper, right? Than a like automatic Rolex that gets out of whack, right?
That completely debunks the best product wins thing, because it doesn't win at all. Marketing. The best marketing wins.
Most of the time, that's the story.
So it's marketing, but it's also, the reason I bring this up is it's the buyer-seller dynamic. So in any relationship, or anytime you meet someone, it's like, instead of going in, you know, and especially like, I used to be like this ages ago with like attractive women, I'd be like nervous, like, oh my God, like, we're like this girl, what's she gonna think of me? But now I'm literally, I just don't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm actually almost like harsh, and like, I'm the same with guys that I want to meet or potentially meet. I'm kind of almost like an arsehole myself, I've become, I realize, because I just want to have this harsh filter to figure out if that person.
You remember the first thing you said to me?
Go on, tell us.
You're not my type.
There you go. She's not. But there you go, like I have this harsh filter, and if they get it, great, okay, we can like see if we can be friends. If not, that's fine, you can leave.
It's super true, because as I've got older, it's easier because you have a better sense of self-awareness and who people are and those things. So you have that more natural sense of who you filter, and you're like, oh, you're not my person, no matter what you've got.
Yeah.
But also, you just, if one of the ways not to be needy is not to have needs that are met by external things. So it gets easier older, but you can definitely manufacture it younger.
Well, because it gets easier when you're older because you've kind of gone through it and you've built that abundance over time. Like you were saying, if you had like 10 leads, right? It's kind of easy to have that mindset.
But I think, yeah, probably another translation of what you're saying is, you know, so I'd always say that, yes, I want to build connections with high-level people, or I want to have relationships with people who are going to make me better, but I'm also only going to do it with them if I like them.
Yeah.
So I guess, you call it your harsh filter. I just say, you know, I have some things I do a genuine situation, or it's not. For example, like using my podcast as the example, you know, I'll use the higher profile one as a reason to get in front of certain celebs or certain high profile people that I think would be good for my network. That gets me the door open. I'll meet them. We'll swap numbers and either bond or we won't. If we don't, we don't. Like, as in, I'm not, you know, okay, I've got the number if I want it, but I can't force a friendship. Some of them have become super good mates because they would have been if it was the man on the street or whatever. But yeah, you know, you call it a filter, but just be intentional, but be genuine, because there's always another one and another one who will fit your model more.
Exactly, and because you know, like, that's like, I think it comes with maturity and age, but that's what I'm trying to teach you guys that may be younger. Like, the sooner that you figure this out, the better it's going to be for your whole life, for sure.
I think it just comes down to like, you know your worth.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing too.
You just know your value regardless of what you have externally, which is like, you just know that from the inside.
So I'm really glad you brought that up, because, and this is why I think it's so nice, and it's almost like, I think sometimes I've met people and it seems like they kind of have a refreshed look in their face, because I don't instantly talk about work. I was at this founders dinner, not that one, the one before. I had these two guys come up to me and they're like, oh, what'd you do? And I just said, like, to be honest, it's a social setting. I don't want to talk about work. I actually don't think my friends, do you guys know what I do? Like, with Binder?
Yeah.
You kind of, okay.
Did you say Grindr?
It took you a while. No, Binder. But like the tech business that I run, like most of my friends, I don't think have a full grasp of what the fuck I do. Because I don't talk about it, because my friends like me for me, and I like my friends for them. Yeah. And it's so funny that I have to say it out loud, but it's really fucking important. And sorry, to go on your point of like knowing your self-worth, I completely agree. But what I want to make, or like hammer home, is that your self-worth does not come purely through like your just materialistic success. And what I'd recommend all of you guys do, and this also will go into branding, I'll touch on that because I think it's super important, is actually like, sounds weird, but like looking in the mirror deeply and just thinking, okay, like who actually am I? What are my values? What do I bring to the table? Like, if you had no money, would that change you? It shouldn't, because you're still just, you're you, right? If you had like no legs, does that change you? It shouldn't, you're just you, right? Like really figuring out who are you, like what is your essence, I think it's so, so important. Because when you do that as well, and take the time to really internalize this, what it allows you to do is it allows you to develop a presence and a level of authenticity which others simply don't have. So a way I like to think about this is, have any of you guys gone on like a long car drive? Yes, yes, thank you. Fuck's sake. And so like, imagine you're like in this long car drive, let's just say like in the middle of Texas, it's just like flat, I don't know, never been there. But you're driving and you're on this old car, you've got a radio station, no MP3, no phone, and you're going through the stations and like most of it is static, but there's one radio station that works and it's actually like a clear, high frequency noise, but it's not the channel that you like, right? Let's say it's like jazz, but you don't really like jazz, you're a blues man, or something like that, right? Like from my experience, me being fully authentically myself and okay with that, I've actually ended up connecting and being good friends with people that like I didn't think would be my vibe, and I don't think they thought I'd ever be into their lives. And the reason is because I'm actually like a fucking clear radio station because I don't filter myself. I'm just me. And if you like me for me, cool. If not, honestly, cool for you. Like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Can I ask a question? What was your catalyst? Like you're saying 14 months ago you're in London.
I think actually my catalyst was moving to Dubai. I think that was my initial catalyst.
Why did you do it though? Like, had you done that before?
Like, I just, no. It's the first time I like moved to expand this business there, never went there before. It was kind of like a fuck it moment in my career.
Yeah.
And it was like a ballsy bet on myself. And the reason I say that is because...
Had you made ballsy bets on yourself before?
Yeah, but the one before fucked up big time.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why I was like, I've made many. You can ask, I'm kind of retarded.
Okay.
Yeah. And most have failed, to be honest with you. But yeah, so I think the reason it was like, it allowed me to do that is because when I moved to Dubai, I like literally was like alone in this city that honestly is like hot. Never went to the Middle East before, like never. And I'm like there, like fuck, like I need to sell this shit. I need to like expand a business, knowing no one. How the fuck am I going to do this? Well, I better get out there and start meeting people. And so I took a lot of time to actually figure out like, who am I? Who do I want to be? And the nice thing when you like move away from home, and you guys, I think most of you have, is that you can actually think like, who do you actually want to be? You no longer have the weight of your family, of your previous friends holding you back. I started a podcast channel 5 years ago, right? My first podcast, like that's before podcasting was even like a real big thing. And I was literally talking about business and mindset with one of my friends that was successful. And honestly, I had friends around me at the time, they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I gave into that, so I gave up. So like I've literally lived like the failure of all of this, like trying for so long. And it took me personally having to move across the world to have this ability to like kind of just ignite my fire, whatever you want to call it. But you don't have to move places. Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe like quit your corporate job. Maybe it's like coming to masterminds like this. Maybe like all you need is just like one little insight, or one little moment of inspiration. Can I mention yours? Recent big change? For you, it was mushies, I'd say.
That's good.
Mushrooms.
For sure.
You know, they're like, actually change things. But for you, this is random, but for you, it was horse reiki. Whatever the fuck that is.
Horse?
Right?
Horse?
Yeah, honestly. Fuck knows.
What was yours? No, it's like a mini one.
Okay, it's a mini one.
The Reiki session with the 3 horses. It was really beautiful.
Interesting.
Just name it with 3 horses.
And the Reiki practitioner.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Did it with 2, didn't work. Yeah, sorry, I kind of lost my flow. Did you have a question, sir?
I mean, to do
Yeah.
that's my question anyway. So how would have your network translated into wealth without that job where you had complete ownership over the tech business?
Pardon?
So you say your network is your net worth, right? So how does it translate in your own example?
Well, I'm here now doing this. My first mastermind ever is this one, which I'd say is pretty fucking good because like he's the coach of all coaches. He's like YouTube God, and then there's me. So look, and like if you just look at, again, Oscar's probably a good guy to attest to this. If you just look at my contacts book, it's pretty fucked in a good way.
But your income currently is mostly still from the tech business, or?
Mostly, yeah. I do have like a good retainer with that. Yes.
What did you talk with Andy about out of interest? Like, what was good with it?
I spoke to him, and then he was like, his children were there. Spoke to his children a bit, said they were really good on stage. Then we were joking around a bit. I'll actually touch on that as well. We were joking around. I was like guessing where his videographer was from. Then I was telling them to guess where I was from. They were fucking up. They don't understand geography, so I was teasing them about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we spoke about business a bit. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, I have a bit of a deep question,
Let's
and
go.
maybe you can take a bit of rephrasing. When I met you you came to my event, I kind of instantly clicked with you because I understood the energy. Like, I understood, hey, you're confident, you're not arrogant, you're confident. But I think a lot of the time when I tried to display like, don't give a fuck kind of confidence, like that type of energy, I can feel people's sourness towards me. Like, I can feel them being like kind of sour, like, oh, why is this guy talking so much? Why is this guy so confident and arrogant?
That shows that you care.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't feel that, and you certainly wouldn't internalize it to the point that you carry it with you and share it at an event like this.
Okay.
So, does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a gift.
Okay. So
You're able to pick up the energy of other people as well.
yeah, I'm very like, I feel people's energy a lot.
Yeah, I get that.
But what would you say to that? Like, being more confident in who I am. Should I just let it out and let whoever is in the way just disappear out of my life and filter it from my people?
I'd argue the best approach is to kind of just detach yourself from the outcome and just stop caring as much. It sounds like you really can. You're like trying to. Maybe this is difficult because for you, you're like manifesting, right? Like this whole business is about manifestation. So it's like, are you like trying to force something to happen versus just kind of letting it be? And I think when you get into this state and flow of acceptance, it really helps. And in terms of that sounds really wishy-washy, right? So some of you with very analytical brains, you're like, shut the fuck up, how do you actually do that? Well, I'll tell you exactly how to do it. It's actually to figure out what are things that you genuinely enjoy doing. What are things that actually fill up your cup? You know, whatever you want to call it. Because I've also realized this, living in Dubai, no one fucking does it there. So I'll give you examples of things that I do. And then, again, this is not to boast, just this is stuff that genuinely makes me super fucking happy, fills my cup up. So I'm like often in a state of like gratitude, presence, happiness, good fucking vibes. And that really works well. For me, I ride a motorbike, like a really fucking fast one. I like adrenaline. I like doing charity work, and I like dogs, so I do charity work with dogs. I bring friends to that. I love spending time with people that I care about, so I always host dinners, and I always invite people that I care about to that. I like sauna. I go do sauna. I want to say I like running, but I don't do that enough. I don't like running anymore. But I like traveling. So even in the Middle East, even though I was kind of like staying there, that was my base. On the weekends, I would drive to Ras Al Khaimah. I would drive to the coast, like of the other side of the UAE. I would drive into Oman. I would camp under the stars. I would go with my friends, take a boat trip into the mountains, or like a boat trip into the like fjords of the Middle East. And what's also wild is when you do this stuff, it develops your character. Because when I go to these networking events, often I'm like, okay, what did you do this weekend? Oh, I went to the beach club and I spent like 10,000 dirhams. And I'm like, bro, that's actually low-key gay. Like, I don't, like, it's just boring. You're the same as everyone else, right? Unless you truly love that. I think often people don't. Whereas like me, then I'm like, oh, I went traveling in the fjords of the Middle East. Highly recommend, if you ever go to Dubai, go to Oman, which is quite random. But like, you just drive 2 hours north, you're in the fjords of the Middle East. And that shit, for me, fills my soul, fills my cup. Meditation, reading, these things. Having a laugh as well, humor, is something I want to bring up next. But all of these things are actual, actionable things that you guys can all do to raise your vibe and actually connect with better and better people.
And all those things like build you internally versus the beach club guy is just like externally trying to project whatever he's doing. It's like, well, I spent the most amount of money here. Okay. Now what?
And the thing is, with like really high level people, they just don't even give a fuck about that. Because I'll give you like a quick example, right? So Oscar and I, we went to Monaco for the Formula One. That was a super spontaneous trip. Now, I've got a friend that he hosts these crazy trips around the world with like other entrepreneurs. Often there's like lots of girls there that are super attractive. And I was there, we weren't not on this trip, by the way. Everyone for this trip paid $20,000 to $50,000. This is not to flex, but to give context. They were staying at Putin's villa. Like honestly, like fucking crazy fancy place in the like most expensive week of the year, which is Formula One Grand Prix. So the reason I'm bringing up this story is because Oscar and I, we ended up getting invited there. I mean, I just bumped into a girl that I met once before, and then she like really liked my vibe. We were just having a fun time, laughing. I was joking with her. I really didn't give a fuck. She ended up, turns out she was staying at the villa, so she invited me there to like do a gym session. Next thing I know, I'm at this fucking $100 million mansion. All the other guys around me have spent all this money, and I'm there for free. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is that all of the other girls and the other entrepreneurs there, honestly, fucking had a great time with me. And it's because, like, which is kind of, it caused some problems after, but during, like, at the time, the reason why is because I didn't give a fuck. I'm just like, look, I genuinely know, like, it's horrible to say, but it's worth saying, not, like, one of you might not make it home tonight. And the reason I'm saying this is, like, if this is the last dinner that you're going to have, you're going to, or like the last day you're going to have, are you going to keep or stay in a state of, like, just being stuck in your head and, like, of negativity and, like, not having a fun time? Or are you going to be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to enjoy every single moment. Really, like, imagine, like, life was like fine wine and enjoy every single fucking second. And when you, like, go through life with this existence, I don't know if it's manifestation or what shit it is, but like, life's great. And like, I go to this Monaco thing where like, all these guys are way richer than me, because I'm not the type of guy that has 50K to spend for a week holiday. And yet, I'm like almost like a magnet to like, honestly, the like other models and like all of these other people, right? They're all like wanting to vibe with me. And like, this is all like internal, which is like proven it's not about external factors at all. Sorry, mini rant. Questions? Or shall I go? Okay. What I want to talk about now, I'm going to go through some of these, and if you have questions, please raise them. So, Jody, do not waste time here in Bali with the wrong entrepreneurs.
Well, my case is a bit unique because, yeah, so I'm a family man, so, you know, a lot of my time is working, fam, a little bit of time with the boys, but again, the boys very similar. Everyone's flying everywhere, and it's great, and I'm not really jealous about it, but I'm like, guys, I got a kid, you guys don't, it's different. And unfortunately, I'm like, there's not that much around here in Bali because everyone here are much like you guys, flying around, this, that, not many people with kids, so I'm like, fuck, it's, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of limited. I actually don't, recently, I haven't been hanging out with many people at all. It's just been working fam, and actually it creates a little staleness. Like when I meet people, especially like this, I'm like, fuck, like a little bit overwhelmed, like this is awesome, I can't believe you guys are around. But then it just completely deters away because I go back to my previous site.
Can I ask, is your job remote?
Yes.
Why don't you do 1 day a week, or 1 day every 2 weeks, or 1 day every 3 weeks in a co-working spot? Invite other people that like, maybe some of you guys, or like friends of friends, that maybe fit your vibe.
True.
Now you can start spending more time with them. It doesn't detract from family time, and you can actually start to develop a relationship there. There are like other guys here, you know, have families that are successful or like are looking to, like, Will, you live here, you're not going to leave for the next few months, right? And so like there are people like this, but similar to you, they're hidden away.
Yeah.
So when you start getting that, you can ask people like, if it's not them, who do they know that fits into that ICP? That's a great one, referrals.
Right.
Another thing, if you're like super cold, is you can literally, it sounds so dumb, but it works, all of you, go to a fancy gym.
Yeah.
Just go to a fucking fancy gym and actually speak to people.
Yeah.
I went to Obsidian with a guy the other day, and he walked in, and I was just meeting him for like a catch-up. He probably spoke to 25 people in that gym. He's been in Bali for like 2 months, and he's like an entrepreneur. And it's just because when you go, like every person who goes to that gym is there long term.
Yeah.
And all his friends. And he just said, oh, this place is better for networking than it is for like working out. And that's just his method, and he's really happy here.
Yeah, I'm at wrong gym, but the thing is, I forget because I got the headphones in.
Yeah,
I just,
headphones.
you know what I mean? And I just went through 9 hours of work. I forget that I'm like, right, connect with people, look up, you know what I mean? Interact, make eye contact and say what's up, you know? I'm still there. I'm like, I'm in this kind of work grind and I forget about that sometimes.
An easy way, join a class. I left, this sounds so dumb, but the other day I was kind of like, I had a few days just like locked in and I was like, okay, I want to force myself to meet people. I felt a bit stuck in my head. So I left, I just turned my phone off, left it at home, and I've got a good sense of direction. I was like, I'm going to scooter around, go to different coffee shops and like just meet people, no phone. Like it's just middle of the day one day. And I met like 3 people. Because I was like our ancestors, how did they meet? They just walked up to people. And like apparently it's weird now, you have to DM people. It's like, fuck that. So like, that was like back against the wall, like a little example of how I forced myself to do it. For you, it could be go to the gym without your phone.
Yeah. Do the recovery centres and like gyms as well. Sort of like ice baths on there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sorry, yes.
You host dinners.
I do now, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, with I host with a guy called Tom Strickland. I'll invite you guys all, I'll add you to that. Fine.
Commented a couple of times about family, and I can talk about this from a direct perspective. I mean, I've got a 2-year-old and a 19-year-old. I know no one thinks I look old enough, but I've done it from obviously both ends of the spectrum. And I think you just got to take the I have family out of it, and just either you're doing it with the family, or if your missus isn't part of this, then she might be the wrong missus. I'm not calling. I'm just saying in general. And with the kids, bring them along for the ride. Like I mean, I had a bit of a different setup with my eldest because her mom was a bit more of a homebody. But I mean, the 2-year-old I've got now. I mean, if we go somewhere, she comes. Whether that's going to a business function, a dinner, coming to Bali, whatever it may be. And I think far too often people use kids or relationships as an excuse, and you're either using it as an excuse because you're shy to do it and it's your genuine excuse, or it's not an excuse. Your missus and your kids is a blocker to you doing it, in which case you need to sort your missus out, and you also need to remember that by the time your kids are 18 they're not going to give a fuck about you anyway. So just don't let yourself miss out in the meantime.
Sorry, and also on that note, like you can start, I'm going to talk about this with some of the other guys, you can start hosting stuff. Like, I'm sure there are other entrepreneurs here that have families that also feel just like you, 100%. And so, like, you can start connecting with them and then start doing family wholesome things together. Like, this is random, but we went grass blowing the other day, which is, like, super wholesome. And, like, as anyone who's creative, so you came as well, that was, like, super nice, wholesome activity. It's not me going to the club, it's not me, like, going to a beach club or something. So you can, like, just think about, like, okay, what activities do my kids like to do? If like your friends and family, they have children too, it can be something like that, like fucking bouncy castle, I don't know.
Dude, thank you for the ashtray that you made me as well. He made me the sick glass cigar holding ashtray thing. And did you make that as well?
Incense holder.
Nice.
Incense.
So good, man.
Does that answer this?
I need a holder for
I do. I'm going to give you 5 more minutes, and then we'll do the Q&A.
Okay, fine. I think I've covered this already a bit, but I'm happy to talk about what do you guys want me to cover this quickly? Feeling comfortable around high-level people. I basically say go in with any relation or like any interaction, just with this chooser dynamic. Do you want them to fit into your life? That's what I would do, and then I would spend as much time as you can in rooms just like this.
So basically what you're saying, don't worry about the value that you provide, just worry about the value that they can bring in.
No, the value is you. Yeah. And that's why I said, like, spend some time actually figuring out, like, what is your value. But detach money from it.
This is a bit of a deep one as well. Sometimes because I feel people strongly, I can feel like when I'm talking to someone or I invite them out, I can feel don't really want to, like they've kind of disqualified me in their mind. What can I do around that? Or is that just a limiting belief?
Dude, I feel like that could be a projection as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of where like you because I would resonate with like picking up on energy and stuff like that, but oftentimes for me, sometimes I'm just projecting what I think. And I'm not saying that's you, that'll be down to your own discernment, but that can happen because it's kind of like you've mentioned that with the payment thing with business owners as well. So it seems to be kind of like a reoccurring thing. Because if they're with you, and same thing if someone's on a call with you or someone's with you in person, like why would they go to do something like that they don't want to be doing? You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't go to that much effort just to pretend in that way. So yeah, hopefully that helps.
It's ironic because you're in manifestation, but I feel like you're manifesting the wrong things in certain areas of your life.
I mean, that's what I learned about it. I had way worse problems with this stuff.
So just keep working on it, you'll get there. Dating Orlando, I think what you need to do is like start hanging out with more girls, like just purely as friends, and then start hanging out with guys that are really connected with girls. That's like gonna shortcut you. Tom, he said to me the other day he's really shit at sales. So like that's your value add to Tom. Just help him with sales for free. Value. I'm sure he'll invite you. Just like me, I'm leaving now, but he invited me to this red carpet thing. It was purely just models. So I'll do that if I were you. That's fine. Global community, Florida. Where's Florida? What I'd recommend is there's actually like lots of different groups out there. I can recommend a few of entrepreneurs that are like just in these like online communities. I actually like, oh yeah, that's how me and Orlando met actually. Yeah, I forgot about that. And actually Reagan, that's how we met technically. Because I found out about you through Will. The value like pays for itself 10x. It might feel like, okay, shit, like I'm paying 3K for this community, 5K for this, 1K for this. It might seem like dumb, but the way I view it is almost like VC, where like you can invest in 10 communities and it's all like one community to start, but like as long as you get one relationship that can actually like really help you long term, it's going to pay itself off 10x. Not to put, I'll speak about this.
Like exactly what happened with me. So I was going to go traveling from Australia, and I knew Will. I met him in Vietnam actually, and he has this community. And I was like,
Will who?
Oh, Will Courtney, this guy who runs a community. And I said, do you have other people like worldwide, like outside of Asia? Because I'm going to Dubai. And he was like, yeah, I know Piero. I was like, okay, sweet. He connected me with Piero. And I was only there for 10 days. But like within those 10 days, I knew basically everyone.
Yeah.
Except Piero. And then I came back like a month later for a month. And again, just plugged in. You know, so like that one connection, and that's made me a shit ton of money too. Like,
I'm actually completely oblivious to that model.
Yeah, well,
I've done that as well.
But it genuinely can work. It genuinely can work really well. You want to find, and like I didn't think it was intentional, but when you go to a new city, first thing is like, if you have a community, great, but you want to find people that are super connectors, is the best way to put it. I'm an example of one, because I'm just out so fucking much and I have a harsh filter. So the people that in my life, you guys can attest to this, the people that I invite to stuff are typically pretty filtered, and like just nice people with a really good vibe. So you want to find people almost similar to me in different parts of the world. Just aware of time. Deeper relationships. Okay, this is one thing I want to touch on briefly. Often, like when you meet people, I think I've spoken about ICP, right? I'm going to tell you to business style. What you want to do in your life is have consistent rolling offers. And it's kind of like what I said to you, like bouncy castle. For you, have like an offer of something that's fun, something of value, you as well, Reagan, all of you. Have something consistently, it doesn't have to be every week, but like once a month, some shit like that, come on. It's like fun that you want to do, which is why I said figure out what your hobby is, and just invite people to it. Me, like, I started going dog walking in Dubai because I wanted to do that for charity. It was for me, selfishly. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm telling my friends about it. This is really, like, Lauren came, everyone's here is pretty much come, right, from Dubai. And it's because it's like a nice thing, and like, I'm going with a good energy, so figure out what it is you want to do. The other day, we wanted to do glass blowing, we just invited some other friends. So you make it almost into a memory. I would not recommend the typical dinners, because like, I think that they're a bit overdone, and Rebecca, what do you think about that? There you go. Like, they can get a bit boring. So like, if you do want to do a dinner, try do like a creative angle on it, is what I recommend. For example, no one's done this, like, did any of you British guys watch Come Dine With Me?
Yeah.
You ever seen like Entrepreneurs Come Dine With Me? Because I haven't, in Bali.
We're doing it right now.
Well, there you go. But some shit like this. But some shit like that, right? Like a different approach. When we did our dinner, we went to Nuanu Creative City. Why? Because it's a whole experience around it. After we went through the forest, and you create a memory rather than just a superficial dinner. And I think often you guys will have blocks of like, I go to all these networking events, I go to all these dinners, and it's fucking useless. Of course it is, because it's boring. And so what I'm saying is like, do what you actually want to do and then just invite people. And if you're a good vibe, surprisingly, people will come. Trust me. Just say time, place, we're going, and people will come. And if not, it doesn't matter because you wanted to do it anyway, right? There you go. Balance, so I think I'll go balance and then leave it there, unless it's on other stuff. I don't think balance really exists when you really want to like double down in an area. I've like been degen at networking, so I had no balance. But now I'm like going back. So what I recommend, if you want to just do it high leverage, events and find super connectors. Yeah. Any final questions, or we'll go into the Q&A?
Let's go into the Q&A. So just 5 minutes. Any questions for Oscar or Piero or me, and then we'll have some dinner.
Do you want to mention, can I pitch my, not pitch, but can I give you my offer of
Yeah.
my products and you tell me?
Go for it, dude.
what I need to do? Okay,
Go
so-
for it. I'll come over here so I can see you properly.
Thanks.
Go.
Okay, so my new offer is something called Capital Catalyst, and it's basically either an academy, like a course, or a done-for-you version of taking a founder or a business owner and getting them ready to raise capital for their offering. Now, this is a credible ICP. The ICP is a credible person, someone either, not Mrs. Miggins who needs to get 70 grand to maybe start a cake shop. If it's a startup business, it's someone who's already probably had one before, or it's an existing business with probably £1 million of revenue, but someone capable of raising money. So my credibility factor is my whole career has really been in raising funds for my own businesses, probably raised 150 million quid and ongoing. And I have my system, if you like, for raising money, which is based on credibility. Pillar 1, credibility of the business plan. 2, visibility, so put the personal brand of the founder, of the business owner, the person doing the capital raising, and C, the network, i.e. the size of and growth of the ICP of the investor network. And effectively, my offer is one of two things. Either here's the Bible, videos and written of how I've done it and how I do it and how you can go and do it yourself. And by the end of doing that course, you will know how to have the perfect business plan, so it looks good for the investor. You'll know how to build a personal brand around your ICP and grow it, and you'll know how to build a network and how to continue to talk to those people. And that's £5 grand. Now these prices, they're made up, not made up now, but I've just plucked these prices out of thin air to have a bash at it.
Yeah.
That's £5 grand. There's a done for you service, which is basically my team, particularly with me involved, will take that manual and we'll go and do it for you. It's a 90-day sprint, very heavy first 4 weeks. So that's where the auditing of the brand, they're getting the press, they're getting the networking, everything set up will be. Your next 8 weeks are your snowballing weeks. By the end of 90 days, you are all singing, all dancing, branded, perfect plan, ready to raise capital, probably raising some. We absolutely do not guarantee you a fucking penny, because my whole point of it is...
You've learned.
Exactly,
Good stuff.
But my whole ethos to it is, if you're raising capital, anyone else who says they're going to raise it for you is talking shit. You as a business owner should be doing it, or nominating someone full-time in your business doing it. That's a 25 grand package, and you can carry on with the retainer afterwards. That's what I said I accidentally sold at the beginning when we sat down. I literally kind of mapped out what you get. I haven't written it always in my head, but mapped out what you get. Did a soft launch, as in I advertised it with a single post on LinkedIn, single post on Instagram, and single post on my newsletter. That filters you into a type form, qualify you, jump on a 15-minute discovery call. I've got about 30 people on the type form. I've physically sold a 25 grand package. I've got another 25 teetering and 2 5 grands teetering.
Nice.
I kind of know in my head like the different bits, but critique me and improve me.
25k is solid. I think 5 is on the low end.
I think I think the 25 is too cheap, to be honest. But
well, it's a good place to start.
For what we'll do for you, if I got you ready to raise £1 million and you did it, I'd charge you, because it's not just for that one thing, you're ready for the rest of your life as well. But I'm also not ready to charge more until we've sold some at 25 grand either.
That's what I was going to say. Like, if you had loads of, well, not loads of, but 3 to 5 really good case studies, he raised 900, he raised 4 mil, blah, 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 then you'd be charging fucking 50k, 75k, 100k. Maybe you could even do 25k and 3% of your total funding.
My-
Something like that.
So I guess my reason I'm not looking for a percentage of back ends is because I don't want to be involved in the fundraising process.
It's set up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like set up. It's like from what I'm hearing, it's like set up, prepare.
Yeah. So for example, I might on the Done For You package, I'll even give you some warm intros to some people, but I'm showing you how to. Okay. So if you've got something directly similar to what I do, I've got a very hot network for you now. If you want to, for example, raise money in the SaaS coaching space, blah, 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 well, I can tell you all the principles, but I don't know any VCs or family offices or whatever in that space. But I will teach you how to go and find them for you. But I'm not going to, you can keep me on a retainer thereafter, but it's not really where I want to be at because for the time spent, I'd rather do it on my own stuff. So it's more like here's the business in a box for you.
Yeah, we'll do that. That as a starting point is spot on. Your next thing to do now, I think, is to build a sales process.
So talk to me sales process then. Add to VSL.
Yeah, well, what I would do, I mean, the very next thing I would do is write and produce a VSL, right? Put it in a page with a button to book a call. They click that, they go to a calendar page. Just get the system, right? Then you just want to drive traffic into that system, LinkedIn posts, YouTube videos, maybe Instagram. You just pour the traffic and attention into that VSL, let people book calls, and close the 5 and the 25. Those are your next couple of moves.
But the sales process you think is traffic or paid ads, whatever, to a VSL landing page.
Yeah, if you said to me, Will, I want to scale this, I want to make as many sales as physically possible and take it to the moon, I would say write a VSL, build a funnel, write and run paid ads, push the paid ads traffic into the funnel, book calls, close calls. Yeah.
And in terms of close, you think, so I've done my call as a discovery call with a follow-up. I mean, I just don't see it as a one call close, high pressure thing. I think it's going to sound very spanky if you're like that.
For that kind of offer, because it's a very high level offer, I would do, actually what you do is a 15-minute triage into call.
So I do a triage call, which is 15 minutes, qualifies them, puts a name to a face, and it's really good because they just get to know you. 15 minutes, no selling, so it's really easy to get people on the first call. Then from there, because they already trust you, I literally have a 100% sharp rate from my triage call to my sales call because they already know who I am. And they want to go to the first one because there's no selling.
And you're doing the triage call?
I do the triage call, and then closer does the sales call, as it were. And the triage call is 15 minutes of my time. It means they trust me, they really like me, and also I can qualify them. It's really, really fast. It's 15 minutes, and you make it very clear there's no selling. And it means so many more people apply to book the call. There's still the type form, they still got to qualify and stuff. But yeah, it's such a good system.
I think it sounds like almost similar to PR angle in a way.
PR angle.
Sorry, what I wanted to say is what Will said first. Getting those really solid testimonials, I think will be your first angle or your first main important thing.
Yeah.
So kind of hustling to get that, because I've got a friend in PR, long time. He's in London. He charged fucking ridiculous prices to get people ready for fundraising. 100 to 200 is offer. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No worries, man. No worries. All right. Let's maybe just do one more question. Anyone? Any other questions? Dinner time. Let's go. Thanks so much for today, guys. Much appreciated. Let's go. Good job, soldiers. Good job. That was fun. Dude, great sessions. You guys, great sessions.